So first of all, I just want to apologise for the lack of content over the last week and leading up to this tournament, and also throughout the tournament. I think I completely underestimated how hard it would be to film at the same time as preparing for a tournament when you're trying to focus so hard on practicing and improving the things that you're trying to improve and putting 100% concentration into your practice. It's so hard to break a camera out of your bag and put it down and film and watch it back and worry about camera angles and getting the right footage and what you're going to say to the camera. That's something which I'm still really going to have to try hard to get used to. Not so much try, but to be a little bit more organised with it. I felt at this tournament I felt very disorganised with the whole filming aspect side of things. I took my camera out with me and I took my tripod with me. Of course, when I'm going out on the golf course, I'm not just playing a practice round. I'm mapping out the greens, working out which way the wind's going that way, which way it's going on all the other holes, so I have a wind map. Getting used to the conditions. The greens at Liphook were running at 11 on the stimp, which is basically unheard of this time of year, especially in the UK. That course was in immaculate condition. Hitting pitch shots off tight lies for the first time in probably 6 months since I've last done that. In Devon, our ground is clay based, so all the water stays on top and it gets very muddy. Whereas in Surrey, Hampshire, that kind of area, it's a lot more sandy, a lot grittier, and the water can drain away. And because of that, the golf courses can stay in a lot better condition. So thank you to the TP Tour and Liphook Golf Club for hosting a fantastic event. Course was just immaculate. I dread to think how quick the greens are in the summer there. I was speaking to one of the members there, and he said in the summer they're running at 14 on the stimp, 14 to 15. I think Augusta at the Masters is about 14 and a half, so it's like next level quick there during the summer. Yeah, so sorry for the lack of footage. I've probably got a couple clips which you would have seen by now in this vlog. I just wanted to kind of talk over my round, what happened, and what I've kind of learnt from it. And I'm going to do a video like this every time after a tournament. So again, hopefully you guys can learn from my mistakes. And also pop a comment in down below if you can think of anything else which I haven't thought of to say. You know, with playing these tournaments and everything else, at the moment I really want to build a positive, happy environment on YouTube for us all to discuss topics, what works for some people, what works for others, and just almost like a platform of support for everyone, and to know that in this journey of playing golf and turning pro, or if you want to play high level amateur, if you want to play county, or even if you want to do well in club level golf, is that we all encourage each other. That's what I really want to get with YouTube. I want to build this positive community and basically have everyone supporting each other. I think that's, I don't think we've really seen that sort of thing on YouTube yet, so it's quite exciting, and it's happening as well. I mean, the amount of support which I'm getting from all of you commenting, not just on YouTube, a lot of more followers are going over to my Instagram now. I'm doing a lot of sort of like posts which are almost sort of the length of an article on Instagram. I find that a really easy way of communicating with people, rather than obviously having to upload and edit a video, which takes a couple of days. On Instagram I can just do a photo and write an article, and it gets a good response, and I find it easy to communicate that way. YouTube's always going to stay my main thing, obviously, but Instagram, if you follow me on Instagram, I think you'll have like a little daily kick of it, of something which you may learn or you might find entertaining, and so on. So to start off with, on the practice round, I turned up there about an hour and a half before I wanted to tee off. I went onto the putting green, hit a 10-foot putt and hit it about 15 foot by. That's the point I realised, okay, these greens are deadly, and they are extremely slopey. On the competition day, they put the pins, I mean, in the most ruthless of positions. You couldn't leave yourself below the hole 99% of the time. It was, some of the pins were ridiculously hard. I think there's about maybe three or four relatively easy-ish pins. The rest were just write-offs. The ridiculous pin positions, but it made it a challenge, which was good. But yeah, anyway, on the practice round, I turned up an hour and a half before I went to tee off. I practiced some putting. I went on the range and I hit 50 balls. I've always had to hit a lot of balls before I go out on the golf course. I find it takes me a while to warm up. It takes me a while to get going. So went out on the golf course, working out where to position my tee shots from. Obviously, from people that I've talked to, they said there's not many drivers you can hit around here. Personally, I don't think there was that many holes where were extremely tight. It's not a really tight golf course, but if you do hit it in the heather, then you do have quite a high chance of losing your ball. It's not heather like at my golf course where it's about sort of that high. This heather's like, you know, that long. It's really deep. But I had a good practice round. I didn't putt as much as I would have liked. I should have spent more time putting. I think what I'm going to do from now on, I don't think I'm actually going to play a practice round. I think I'm going to go out there with a wedge, a putter, walk the holes and map out the greens a little better, especially when they're as quick as these are, because you're obviously hitting the ball at a slower pace, so it's taking a lot more break. So especially on slopey greens like these were, putting really should have been my main priority. So that was the first mistake I made. If I were to go back on greens this quick, then I would practice my putting a hell of a lot more. That would be my main focus. But obviously, with swing changes over the winter, I've been working on a stock shot which I could hit off the tee, which proved to work very well. I hit 8 out of 13 fairways, which isn't, you know, it's not a tight golf course, but it's tighter than what I'd play down here. So for me, I was relatively happy with 8 out of 13 fairways. But yeah, I should have spent more time putting. I spent most of my time on the range practicing my pitching, and my tee shots were the main things which I worked on. Because one, I was hitting pitch shots off tight lies for the first time in a very long time, and obviously my main focus was keeping the ball in play off the tee. So as we move into the main round, a competition day, the strange thing is I genuinely felt confident that if I were to play my best, if I were to play well as I know I can, I felt like I really did have a chance of winning this week. So after I played, well, here's what happened. I'll explain. I've got my stats here. I'll explain everything. So I played holes, hole 1, it's like a 208 yard par 3, hit a 5-iron there, came up a little bit short. It was an okay tee shot. Again, I had a very long putt. long putts weren't really what I was practicing much that week. So again, that could have already cost me a shot, as I 3-putted the first hole for a bogey. Second hole, hit it down the fairway, poor 4-iron into the green outright, onto the path, took a free drop, chipped onto the green to about 10 foot and didn't hold the putt, so it's a bogey there. Then went par, and then the 5th hole, I made an 8, it's par 5. Hit a drive down the left hand heather. It wasn't a horrific tee shot, I mistook the wind for being more off the right than it was down. And I've hit it sort of up the centre with a slightly too big a draw, and it's gone left into the heather, and I didn't find the ball. I saw it bounce and I walked up there and I didn't find it, which was very frustrating. Luckily I hit a provisional off the tee because I knew the heather was so deep. I thought I'd better hit a provisional, so that was down the fairway. Hit a 2-iron up by the green, and then chipped it on. This pin was, say the pin was here, there was a huge slope coming down to it and then chamfered off here, and I was to the side, so I had to putt basically up this slope and get it to come back down. It was about a 10-foot putt, which I did pretty well. It lipped out, and I'm not joking, from 10 foot it lipped out and it's gone about 15 foot back down the green, and I'm scratching my head. I'm like, oh dear, okay. Then missed a 15-foot one coming back, and after that I'm 5 over through 5 holes, and I am fuming, and this is where lack of competition play comes in. Mid-season, I would know to manage my emotions a lot better than this. I got really, really angry. I didn't let that anger come out of my actions. I didn't throw any clubs or anything like that, but I went hot and angry because I knew I'd pretty much put myself out of contention at that point after 5 holes, but I shouldn't be thinking like that. So lack of competition play there has basically maybe thinking a bad way, because I'm not used to being in competition situations again. It's been 5 months since I played my last tournament. So that's one lesson to be learned. If I were to go back, I would control my feelings better, which would in turn control my emotions better, and then my actions. Part of the next 2 holes. After this, I was trying to force birdies to get back into a decent position, because these are 1-round events, so it's not like I'm going to have a second round to be able to catch up. I need to make a few birdies now, and through forcing birdies, I had another 2 3-putts, which led me to go to 7 over after 9, and then I had another 3-putt on the 10th, which led me to go to, I was 8 over through 10 holes. And after that, I mean, it was demoralising. I was thinking, yeah, I should just walk in, and then walking down the 11th after hitting a good shot, I'm like, how many times have you played a back 9 into a 3 under par? If I could do that now, all won't seem too bad. So I did what I should have. I completely forgot about scoring altogether, and I just focused on the shot in hand, which I know this is so cliche, and it's something which I should know anyway. But when you're in the heat of emotion and competition, it can sometimes stop you from thinking straight. So I just started to focus on the shot in hand, focus on each shot as best I can, and try not to 3-putt. Basically, those are my 2 main things I was thinking about, is just focus on the shot that you're playing and just 2-putt max. Basically, that was my goal, as stupid as it sounds. And after that, I finished par, birdie. So I had a good finish after that, but it was just almost just centralising myself, getting myself out of that bad mindset where everything's going wrong, because it felt like that at the time, that everything that could have gone wrong went wrong. So it was shifting my mind away from that process into a new process of, right, just focus on each shot as best I can, and my second goal is basically just not to 3-putt for the next 8 holes. And actually just get the ball close to the hole on the green, and I hold 2 birdie putts and one for up and down as well. So a huge improvement on the back 9. I hit 6 out of 7 fairways and I hit 8 out of 9 greens. I made my up and down as well with the green that I missed on, and instead of having 20 putts on the front 9 and on the back 9, I still had 17 putts on the back 9. If I were to have putted relatively, even average this week, I would have been in, with a decent shout of shooting at least under par. So yeah, Very, very frustrating start, but a lot learned. It just shows you don't let your emotions get in the way of playing golf. Just be in the process, in the moment, and hit each shot as best as you can. It's, again, and that is lack of competition play. I haven't been in that situation for 5 months, so I haven't been in that mindset. I've gone out and played 18 holes of golf with friends competitively. Of course, vlogs don't really count because we're really not concentrating on playing, but I've been and played matches with friends outside of videoing, and it's good and it puts you under pressure, but it's nothing like when it really comes down to it. There's a lot more emotion involved, and that can sometimes affect your act. In fact, look, okay, I'm actually going to do this. This is really sad, but I'm going to do it. Okay. I don't know if I'm in any position to teach this, but I'm going to give it a go. The reason I'm wearing different clothes is because I was editing and realised I hadn't recorded this bit, so yeah. And yeah, we're doing the whole whiteboard pointy thing. Probably not qualified to talk about this, but I'm going to talk about it because it's interesting and I feel like this is what let me down. So basic psychology, not just in golf, not just in sport, but in life in general, we're state of mind, okay? We all know it's obviously good to be in a good state of mind, but that's really hard to control if we don't know how to control it, or we're under a lot of pressure, a lot of nerves, and that can cloud our judgment and cloud our ability to be able to think properly, right? So I'm going to use Wednesday as an example for what I'm talking about here and how to control our state of mind. So after 5 holes, I was having bad thoughts. I was annoyed, I was angry, and we all know that that is not a good thing. So I wasn't controlling my thoughts, which led to negative emotions, which in turn led to negative actions. Negative actions lead to more negative thoughts, and then that cycle will repeat unless you interrupt it. So your overall state of mind is negative, it's in a bad place. It's very hard to control your emotions. The only way of controlling your emotions is by controlling your thoughts. So the only 2 places we can interrupt this cycle is by interrupting our thoughts or interrupting our actions. We've obviously had rounds of golf where we've been playing quite badly, we've been so many over so many holes, and all of a sudden you hit a good golf shot out of nowhere. We've all had that day. Okay, that shot will give you good thoughts, which will then lead to good emotions, which will then lead to good actions. So all of a sudden, you've gone from being in a negative state of mind to an overall good state of mind. So because of that one good shot, that's completely changed your state of mind, because you started thinking about good shots and in a positive way, which led to more positive emotion and good emotions, which led to more positive and good actions. But the thing is that you had to be pretty lucky to be able to create good actions if you're not thinking correctly and not thinking in a positive way. So obviously the main way to control your state of mind is by controlling your thoughts. That is the main place which you can interrupt a bad cycle of negative thinking. If you can control your thoughts, so you can think about good things, even though something bad has happened, you still stay positive in the face of adversity, you still think in a good way, even though you've hit a few bad shots or you're that many over a certain amount of holes. If you can still control your thoughts and still think relatively positive, you can still have those positive emotions even when things are going bad, which will eventually, it has to lead to good actions if you stay positive, which will then lead to more positive thoughts. This is what I really struggle with on Wednesday. I really struggle controlling my thoughts and controlling my general state of mind. That's what really let me down. So yeah, that's what happened. That's pretty... I just talked about that. I did the whiteboard thing. Got pen and drew on the board. That makes me cool. Doesn't make me cool, does it? So yeah, that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to interrupt that pattern of feelings, emotions, and actions. And once you can interrupt that, then you can possibly change your whole game around if you're having a bad day. I hope this video was in some way helpful. I'm sorry for the lack of footage and that I haven't been able to film as much. It's just a lack of organisation. My van's a tip. Just so much rubbish. I was so unorganised for this event, which I wasn't very happy with at all. But anyway, yeah, a lot of positives to take from this week. To be able to hit shots like that in front of a camera crew under pressure, and to be able to change my state of mind halfway through the round like that is very reassuring that I have that mental ability there still. So I'm really confident going into Europro Qualifying. I'm playing really, really well. It's just kind of, it's taken it out into a tournament now and mixing that with thinking well. and preparing well. But yeah, all in all, I'm sorry for the lack of footage. But yeah, that's it. I think Europro Qualifying coming up next, 10 days time. I'm going to try and get out on the course and do some course vlogs for you guys as well. I'm going to do some practice vlogs. Going to do a video with James tomorrow. Hopefully get uploading a little bit more. It's just with the first tournament, I wanted to really sort of shift my focus onto preparing, because that is still my main priority. Playing golf is still my main priority. If you haven't already, please make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. I'm just looking at my laptop now. We are almost at 11,500 subscribers. Make sure you follow me on Instagram. A lot of cool stuff going up on there daily. Twitter, Facebook, all that stuff. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below. Any video ideas that you have, or advice that you want to share with other people, or things which work for you. Oh, that's another thing, message coming from the Creature and Jimmy out in South Africa. That's going to be the next video up after this one. But yeah, thank you all for watching, and I'm going to go.